where are you going? The known path or your own path? Iona College is where you'll be given the means to dream and find meaning in your dreams. To serve while you learn and learn while you serve. To fight the good fight and to own your path. So, where are you going? Iona College. Learn outside the lines.
It begins with our mission and values. A culture of innovation and collaboration. Achieving a global perspective beyond the classroom. Turning education and theory into practice. Developing lifelong interests and connections, and striving to make a difference in our communities. Marist College.
We're different here. We don't just get up for another day. We rise. We don't just work. We endeavor. We're women and men, for and with others. We have hope, we believe, and we celebrate. Why are we different?
So we can be the difference.
Well, we just saw the University of Delaware take our first map of Group 3 in quite convincing fashion after maybe a little rough and tumble on the defensive side. But now we're going to be seeing how Marist do against Iona College. And worst, this has to be we already talked about how the last game was a must-win. This is a for sure must-win.
This is a must-win. This is a must-win. Marist needs to win this. They need to secure themselves second spot in this group. I mean, it is legitimately just like it's you versus Iona right now, unless Iona somehow also beats out Delaware, and then it's just like you're now by yourself because you haven't beat Delaware. Obviously, double round robin, so they can play Delaware again. Maybe have a different map choice, but it looked pretty convincing there. So it's kind of this is a must win. I don't know Iona. I don't know how Iona looks right now. I do not know how Iona is going to perform. So kind of a bit of dark horse for me going up against Marist, but Marist is gonna have to be on their A game here if they want to kind of get themselves rolling in this group stage. And I think it will be interesting to see it happen on the specific map that was chosen, which was Fracture. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see how the Fracture looks with these teams, because typically it's banned.
Yeah, typically it's banned, and I'm a bit surprised to see both, like, we see bind and split banned. So a little bit, the conventional pick's definitely taken out. Obviously, Ascent's still available, but they decided to go away from it. How do you think this plays out? Do you think we're going to see a mirror again, as we saw in our last game? Do you think they try to switch it up? Do you think a neon even comes out?
I mean, you can have the neon come out. I think it's a heavy execute, like a heavy point exec kind of composition, and it's really going to have to take some practice. I don't know how much has been practiced, right? I don't know how much they have been practicing this map or what they're looking like, as we are going to be getting into game real quick and see what these teams' compositions are going to look like, because I think that'll shape kind of how the teams are going to play this one.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be really curious to see how this goes as our agent select happens. So we definitely see a breach, at least on one side. Double smoke from Iona? Kind of double, maybe. Depends on Rhapsody. We're gonna be seeing
Definitely
double.
Like the raise here over something like we're seeing a lot of people like the heavy lean into Jets and whatnot, but I do like the raise here. Definitely think they're a very strong pick in the meta currently, but everything's kind of shaping up pretty not standard, but like noticeably normal here for Marist in a lot of ways. So it'll be interesting to see how that does shake out as these final lock-ins are going to come in.
Yeah, just waiting to see if it's going to be the double initiator. Which, how do you like KO and Breach? Who would you take over, say, the Viper? I'm gonna say Brim and Omen.
Choose your agent.
Probably very similar smokes, so it's really the KO or the Viper, I think.
I think they're fine with running Viper here. Maybe KO to go along with the Breach. But I think these compositions are fine. I honestly think these compositions, as long as they're practiced on them and as long as they know what they want to do with them, in terms of like scrimming with them and knowing like kind of the micro plays you need to make with them, I think these compositions are fine. Like I said, I don't want to force like a hard meta like you have to be winning this on every point or every map. But as long as the compositions allow for playmaking, which it does on Iona's side and definitely on Maya's side. So as long as it allows for playmaking, I'm pretty happy with it because I think playmaking is one of the biggest things you're going to need as these teams.
Yeah, no, definitely. How is this going to go for them? So, what do you think the buys are going to be? Do you think we're going to see a sheriff? Do you think this is going to be a utility buy?
Normally you would only see sheriff on something like a jet, which doesn't need utility. Like you're not relying on your smokes or your updrafts on eco rounds, so you just want to get the sheriff in your hand, but the most bang for your buck. Say that there's some yellow bows. That's kind of the only way you see sheriffs these days. A lot of the time you're seeing, even on Rainers, you're seeing ghosts and an extra charge so that you can heal more or dismiss. But this is pretty standard. These buys are all very normal. And kind of how the money breakpoint works out for each different agent is unique to them. So the guns are going to kind of usually be around how important their utility are and what the breakpoints for the utility are.
Oh, definitely. And so it's going to be the Iona attack first, and Che starts us off early with the frenzy from downtown, it seems. And it's just gonna be a site taken immediately. Default plant, and this retake already seems harder. Well, that's a good way to start.
Retake's already started out pretty well, though. It's traded down to 2 for 2, but Headhunter is still in the hands of Bev. 2 shots remaining, and they can definitely find these picks here. Gonna have to taking look at Lucky first. Flash is still gonna be kind of avoiding it, but the classic has to come out as both those shots go wide. And now it's just a lot of fire here onto Bev, and the trade didn't come fast enough from Jadist, and Marist is gonna win out this pistol with a nice retake.
Yeah, takes the pistol with a nice retake. And what was early on just such a great attacking round just seemed to, I feel like they didn't really know what they wanted to do with that post plant there. It just seemed a bit lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're kind of all over the place. Didn't really have the right crossfire set up, didn't have the correct position set up, and they're just kind of taking the duels and losing them over and over again. The Headhunter shots, if they kind of went the right way for Bev there, they win the round, but that's a little bit too much to kind of put on one person's shoulders. A lot of things could have been handled better there, as we're now going to see the conversion round come through from Marist, hopefully correctly this time, as they are going to have full Spectres and full armor to kind of stop these pistols.
Yeah, definitely. Johnny Silverhand going to be at least spotting too. It doesn't hold that angle, which yeah, there's a breach there, so maybe you just don't want to fight into it. Argos waiting for the flash in. Does it get anything? No, they're going to be able to jump out. Just a passive round for Iona. I think they don't want to give up too much space. Going through, even going through two with Spike even. Do you rotate, or do you just try to bamboozle it? I mean, it's a minute left on the clock.
Looks like they're trying to play this slow, obviously trying to bait them into the Sheriff crossfires. You're seeing a jump peek come out here in tower, but they're not convinced. They're going to back up a little bit more here, try to give this one up. As Argos going to try and play from distance here against the Sheriffs. Actually kind of benefits the Sheriffs a lot of the time into the Spectres, but looks like they are consolidating around both different areas. And now finally Yuto comes out. The rotation is going to come through.
Yeah, the rotation is going to come through. They're going to be taking tower, but a nice pick off early, but can't get anything else. Goes down early. Tower is going to be held by Iona and Sights. Obviously we know Sights going to be taken, but actually this could be their way of keeping Iona in towers at this point. They're just going to be shooting through the smoke. Yellow Bros gets 2 immediately. Rhapsody, all that is left, and that is a nice way to take the second round and go into the bonus.
Yeah, and now we have to kind of see that is a lot of damage done on that conversion, where they're not going to have as many guns going into the bonus, so your bonus is a lot safer, right? For example, they're not going to have 4 Spectres, they're only going to have 2, so you don't have to worry about that as much. And now we're trying to see how Iona wants to play around these lesser guns? Are they just going to kind of just send it and maybe not respect them as much? And does Marist have any set plays for themselves on this defense? Do they burst out maybe Dish, or do they burst out into halls? Looks like that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, and this is going to definitely be the first time we've seen A at all in this entire game. I shouldn't say that too much. I think it is only the second round, and Yellow Bros on the Sheriff. So I like the economy of how they're playing it. They're not buying too much. They're not trying to buy Phantoms with the Spectres. They're purely playing this as a bonus round, and it's working out great. That flash was exactly what they needed. The double peek not going to be working out for them, so they do lose 2. Vulture effectively 1 hit at this point, though. It's going to be the rotation back towards B. Johnny Silverhand, I think, suspects something, but doesn't have any confirmation yet with that headhunter. Just playing passively, playing carefully. Could get in just the perfect angle for this take. Just waits.
With so much noise not happening, obviously suspecting something's happening. The wall comes up. They're not convinced just yet here, Marist, but they should be. So there's a 4-man slow walk onto site. There's the plant down. Rotates are going to come through. I don't have to worry about any stragglers, but already that's a little bit too aggressive there, Johnny Silverhand. Is you need to wait for your team members to really get a good push in, and now Tower's given over. They don't have to worry about that anymore. This retake looks dead in the water. Obviously, yes, they have some guns, and the Spectre finds 1, but still, they have a lot of defensible positions they have to clear out. B main, as well as Tower, are still on the cards in terms of getting them off the angles. Might not find the Viper there, but no, it's a little bit of a missed smoke from Kingpin that results in Yellow Bro's demise, as now backstab could happen for Bev at any moment, but they're just going to walk this one out. They're going to walk it away, and that's going to be a round picked up by Iona, and Marist left with nothing.
And I mean, surely if you were able to get the Vulture there, that would have felt a lot better. Then you would have really kind of ruined the economy there. But I mean, still, it's going to be Spectres. It's going to be... Yeah, it's just going to be Spectres for Rhapsody and Che, and actually no, they're able to get the buy from Bev, I believe. So a decent buy for them against the Phantoms and the Guardian of Marist, who I think are look fine. I'm surprised though by the Guardian. Surely just pop Blade Storm for this.
Maybe that is a little bit on the plan, but they're kind of maybe not wanting 2 minutes of this round. That's not the game plan, but. As for now, it looks like it's going to be a split towards B. And Johnny Silverhand, once again, in that tower, going to have to hold this one down. Trademark finds 1. It's going to pull the rotate over from the Omen, but critically still a man advantage if they want to pull the trigger. Not the case, looking to play a little bit slow. They're not having anyone really walk to halls yet. Now it's happening. Now the call is being made to start walking away. You have the Viper still here for containment. Vulture still here for containment, but... that's all it is for. They're not committing too hard to the side, but Vulture's in a really bad position. He's going to have to use a lot of the utilities to get themselves out of this position. Would have much rather had that to execute a site, but it looks like the first contact can come in from Yellow Bros, and is it going to find 1 is the critical juncture here in the round, as it does. And looking for 2! Yellow Bros, some crystal clear aim, results in a man advantage in a 5v2, and Vulture trying to find 1, does kind of trade it back, but too little too late.
Yeah, I mean, and exactly what you need there. The Vulture living up to the name, waiting, effectively waiting just for an easy pickoff, and just gonna go through tunnel, try to bamboozle their way around. But Spike's gonna be on A. A very easy play there. I don't even think it's the stun, but gets the kill onto Yellow Bros. It's taken off. 3 seconds left. This is going to be the round. Bev just has to save here, and yeah, save that armor. And Marist will get their third after losing that first gun round, and surely their strength apparent with how they're playing.
Yeah, apparent indeed. And now I gotta kind of see what the response from Iona is. They've been playing really slow. But not every round should be as slow as possible because you give too much time for Marist to really get map control, particularly Hall's control, like we saw there. The Guardian, post-plant, like if you're sitting 5 people, even if you're playing slow, if you're just sitting 5 people just not holding any map control with that slow play, you're kind of just wasting your time. You need to be able to like work yourself into Halls, maybe deny that angle, and then use that Hall's position to pivot into an A take. It's not just, oh, we're sitting around B, we're not seeing anything, then we walk to A. It's very different. I think that's the nuance that's kind of lost on a lot of teams where you have to kind of leverage map position to enable those rotates.
Yeah, no, definitely. You have to really leverage those rotates, and Iona have a couple of have definitely a couple ultimates that could allow them decent, I mean, actually incredible takes onto site. Of course, the Rolling Thunder. They have the Showstopper, arguably even the Tour de Force if they really want to, but maybe that's a post plant play there. And it's going to be A, which if they're able to use it perfectly, they could take out Yellow Bros early. They could even take out Kingpin, and that is exactly what they need. And no, Yellow Bros just peeks perfectly, takes out the Vulture. They're not going to have that Showstopper there. Excuse me, not the Showstopper, the Rolling Thunder available for them. I'm messing up my my characters there. Worse, but they're just going to rotate out. They don't want to go in.
Yeah, they're going to go back again. And like we see the time and time again, they're just rotate machines right now. But how are they going to get in here? Smokes are down. They're still going to have to walk into Argos here. It is going to be the Phantom from long range.
10 seconds left.
Maybe prefer to have a Vandal there, but still, Rhapsody does find one, and Bev with the Tour de Force finds 2, looking for the 3rd in the round from the team. Yellow Bros is kind of just stuck back here. It's like, I used all my knives. I only got a classic. Lucky's going to try and break open this. Does find one with just the classic, however, but with Lucky down, this seems all but over unless Yellow Bros can do some magic, much like they pulled on Breeze in that one round with the ace clutch. That would just be crazy, but it doesn't look like it's on the cards. There's too many angles to kind of contest, and that's a Tour de Force you're walking into, so not going to be leaving that one feeling okay, as second round going to be picked up here from Iona, and Marist momentum is looking like it's wavered out here, or petered out here.
Maybe. There's definitely a great post plant. And now have a lot of ults. I mean, I agree with you that Iona now, I mean, look at how they can potentially juggle these ults. They have the Viper's Pit. I think that's very crucial for a site take. And look at this lineup. This could be a fun lineup indeed. And this is it gonna work perfectly? Yep, nice. But it's not even going to go towards B. They're bamboozling the team, but that sight from Yellow Bros is going to be confirming at least 3 main. And the rotate should happen from Marist, but still, Johnny Silverhand waiting there just to check if anyone comes around. Once again, Iona plays so slow, so carefully, and it seems to both be a blessing and a curse for them.
I think it's always important when you talk about slow teams. It's like, what are you doing with that slow pace? And right here, not much. They don't have any information towards B. It's just kind of waiting, cutting noise, hoping they rotate off. But there's no reason for them to rotate off. There's no reason for them to change things up. You're not inspiring them, not making them try to think there's something going on. You're just simply cutting noise and doing nothing with it. So if there was some play elsewhere, maybe. And now, instantly, here it is. It's going to be the ult in tandem. They're trying to overwhelm this A site. So far, so good.
So far, so good. The Kingpin takes out Jadist, and all of a sudden, you just lose the Viper's Pit there. But Bev getting Argos. At that point, still you have it, but what could have been an incredible play there. Sadly, probably not going to be working out too well for them. The Stinger against rifles, and yeah, there's only one way that can go. Kingpin, maybe a chance with the heavy armor, but honestly, I would just save the armor at this point. I mean, why even risk it?
Yeah,
but they're going for it.
I mean, I think it's more worth it to lose even if you lose the armor, I think it's more important to die in the situation because you get more money for it than the armor even costs. So I think that's definitely important there. Don't really want to keep that Sheriff into the next round because that's not a rifle. So want to just get that out of the way. And now we are going to see the timeout come through here from Marist's side. They want to kind of respond into this round. They had a good start, but now it's kind of petered out, like I said, and Iona has been kind of stepping it up with these takes, and in the post-plant situations have been performing well. And Marist's going to have a response to this one.
No, and how do you take it from here? Would you, if you were the coach, would you come in and say, hey, just don't give up? They seem to be giving up sight so early, and I think that's kind of a critical factor for them. Now they're, I think in the early rounds they were holding sights well, or the retakes were great. But once Iona rotated towards A, they seem to have lost their ways here.
Yeah, and I think here's the thing with this play when you're going to a team like this. I think I want aggressive plays here from Marist into halls, most importantly. They found success when they had presence in halls because it kind of denies that rotate angle. It kind of denies that pivot angle. So I think if they can push, like breach, shock, get their jet into halls and secure them in that position, I think that's going to really set them up well into the later round because of how slow they play. They're going to just walk into you a lot of the time. They're not using util to clear it either. They're just going to walk into you. So I think that is an important thing here. And it's not happening. They're just playing back on site. But into a team like this, it's going to kind of like take their time and wait and not give you any like free looks a lot of the time. What you have to do is kind of just take the map control from them because they're giving it to you. They're giving you this map control and you're not taking it away.
No, indeed. And you're not giving anything away. And it now seems like I think Marist seemed to be a little scared. I mean, look at this rotate already. We are seeing a rotate from our jet player there, just waiting for A. And now they're going to give up. They're effectively giving up site control there. Johnny Silverhand, all that's left, and has to rotate towards CT. This early pickoff, though, does give them the player advantage. What way is it going to go into there? Nice rolling thunder. That could help us. Could help the rotate in. Yellow Bros gets one. It's the second. No, Jadis is just too fast. Argos gets another, and now it's a 1v1. The Vulture, it's going to be up to Bev. Can they get it? No, they can, and now Iona take the lead for the first time in this game.
Yep, Iona take the lead, and they're looking strong here. And like I said, I think it's Marist doesn't have the fast enough flanks to come through. Yes, they're trying to go fast with the ultimate coming in from spawn, but they don't have flank pressure. They don't have like flank on tower pressure. It is just kind of like they're giving a lot of the map away. They're playing defensive, but Iona is not even playing in such a way where it's like, oh, they're going to surprise, like push into you really early, so you have to kind of give that respect. No, they're giving you a lot of angles. And now finally we see Marist try to make a play towards Dish here. Try to get an ult orb, I assume, for this jet. But they're gonna have to back off. So they don't have the breach with them. Breach is gonna finally be walking back. They want to try and get this ult orb. They're trying to get this knives up for Yellow Bros, but yeah, and now they kind of choose wrong this round. And the one round they want to play and try to make some play for map space, it's exactly where Iona is.
Yeah, Iona seems to be getting in their head at this moment. And look at that, just another pickoff early. Yellow Bros looks the wrong way. Johnny Silverhand already uses Tour de Force, so just no reason not to try to use it in there. And it just doesn't. Surely another round. A nice pickoff there, but so much just damage already onto Johnny Silverhand. Just effectively one hit at this point. And can Lucky do anything with this? This is a Stinger.
Stinger's not normally known to be a great weapon currently, and not going to prove to be one there either. The Tour de Force shot missing as well is going to have the repeat to come through, but it's a 3v1, and it is basically over here. Looking for more economic damage, but Iona doesn't really need a lot of the economy to maintain, and even with that miss shot again, as these bullets run down, is going to find the pick potentially onto the chamber here, but yeah. So Iona's going to take that round and is kind of pushing their lead here, momentum building for themselves, and Marist has not found the answer.
Marist definitely haven't found the answer here, and I mean, what do you do from here? It's just, I feel that Marist have already decided they wanted to be a more attacking side. But surely you don't want to be going down 8-4 on your defense, or do you hope for like a 7-5 at this point, like a 5-7? Yeah, somehow of 7-5, which would be amazing, but I highly doubt it's going to happen. And once again, we're going to be seeing this utility, and Lucky doesn't go for the body block, but waits with the knives. I'm actually a bit surprised by that. Would you not want to go for the body block?
I mean, I guess not thinking about it in that moment, sometimes it can slip your mind perhaps, but it's going to be a faster take here from Iona, but they're going to kind of stall out here. They're going to try and play a little bit with their positioning. And now they see they catch the early rotate from Yellow Bros. Instead of playing containment once they get fast on the flank, Bev was waiting for it. Now they have the ability to kind of pivot off. So this has granted them access to A side if they so desire. And they're actually going to probe it with this Viper. See what kind of utility they have set up here. See what kind of members potentially they have up here playing contact off that. And they're ready to rotate as soon as possible. It's going to be onto Bev then to kind of win this chamber 1v1. I think has the timing. The ropes are going to come through. I don't know if they hear that.
Trap destroyed.
If they hear the ropes, maybe a way to catch it out. No, they've surely heard it. Yep, they've surely heard it. And that was a great trademark there. But Lucky at least makes it a little closer. But A is going to be, I think, the choice. Bev potentially with this flank. No, doesn't get it. Evens it out and instantly. The stim beacon going to be used. Let's see how this retake happens. This is the first chance I think that Marist have had this entire game since those early rounds. They could potentially do something. Rhapsody goes for the peek, gets taken out by Kingpin. Smoke onto main, but it's drop and on site. He just has to peek out. Do they know where the Vulture is? No, the Vulture just in such the perfect angles that drop. Flash in. Go for the stick. Yeah, they're just gonna go for the stick. Do you think they stop it? Yeah, dude. Just go for it.
Vulture.
No, you don't have it in time. Oh no, tragedy.
Misreading the situation again. Just throw it. Just throw it and push, or at least try and play up forward. Walk forward. Try to bait the defuse. If you're just giving that, not everyone's gonna tap. You have to make them want to tap. And right there, they just kind of give away a free round for themselves. Definitely have that mostly in the bag because of how that post line was going. You play up, you aftershock it, force them out of the corner. You have the angle lined up on them. Could take the duel if you want. I mean, there's just so many ways to play that there, and it kind of falls through. Iona is going to kind of regret that they're letting the momentum now start to potentially build for Marist College as they get around on the board quite a while. But I think the one upside to it is that, like, okay, let's say Marist loses this next one. Their loss bonus was reset, but that only is contingent on Marist losing it.
Yeah, that's definitely contingent on Marist losing it. Bladestorm going to be
Marist winning it, sorry.
Yeah,
never mind. Wait, I'm confusing myself.
So Marist won the last round. So
yeah, so if they lose this round, it's really bad for them in the sense of like resetting the economy, the loss bonus. But
yeah, so they have to win it.
They have to win.
Yeah, they have to win.
Wait, I confused both you and myself. Don't worry, it's crazy.
We're just confusing ourselves now. Yeah. But Rolling Thunder going to be the play here by the Vulture. A nice pick off there, but can they get anything with it? No, Che goes in. The Spectre of Lucky. It's just going to be too much anyway because it's basically 1v1. And look at this, these early pickoffs. Vulture still showing incredible work there. And I mean, Vulture evens us out anyway. But the gun advantage, I think, has already been lost. Now Marist have an equal chance, and the Vulture's basically backside gonna be exposed. Now 1v1, all down to Rhapsody and Lucky. How do you play this here? Do you just ult on site? Do you wait for the? Do you go for the stick? Oh, there it is. And surely, is that gonna be the round now?
They have time, I think, but the Molly, I think that might be it. Yeah, but the Molly, that's it. They don't have the time. Really well played there from Rhapsody, waiting on it. Obviously, that could have just been a hold again, and it could have ended up with them losing it, but, I mean, that's the kind of game you have to play there. 4 HP. You don't want to play a rifle game. You want to play the util game, and they play that quite well. And now that's going to get them 6-4 in this half, and potential for the 8-4, but this could easily even up into a 6-6 or a 7-5 in just a flick of a wrist.
Yeah, no, great idea there. So we're going to be in our penultimate round, and I don't know how I feel about them continuously buying stingers over sheriffs. Do you think that's just maybe a little bit of lack of confidence in their aim? Do you go for the stinger because you maybe hope for a little bit of spray help?
I mean, There's a desperation play to buy a stinger. And same thing, similar from the other bucket. It's like, that gun is really bad. That gun is really bad.
Really, the Bucky there might have... Argos shouldn't have peaked that, I think, but surely the Bucky might have been better. Oh, nice pickup on Yellow Bros. Nice right click. Can Shake get it? No. Yellow Bros is not able to confirm it there. But these pistols are doing incredible. This is... remember, everyone, this is effectively their eco round here. And Iona still down. Now they can pick up the guns for this retake. They don't have any ults online. And especially going into the tour de force, especially going into that showstopper, this is going to be a very hard retake for them. Still possible. Or do you... Oh no, they definitely saw it was going to be A. You're able to pick up the guns, I believe, but how is this going to go?
Yeah, they have guns on most everyone, but it's still a bad situation. You're going to walk into a couple crossfires here. Smokes are going to come out here from Kingpin. No stoppers available, but they're not wanting to pull the trigger just yet. Clear's going to come in, but no! Not a good enough clear, and Jay finds 2. Now on the 2v1, Silverhand trying to figure this one out. Flash comes through. Spray is good, and this bomb, the spike, is not planted for Bev. Not planted for Bev. Silverhand's going to try and just full hold it, but no, Bev has the correct timing on it. And Silverhand does not fake it. Didn't have really the time to fake it either, I don't think either, so that was the correct play there from Bev to wait it out. There was no time available for Silverhand to make it, so really well played once again from the Chamber of Iona College. Already is 19-5. That is an amazing scoreline for this amount of rounds in the game.
I mean, not even using the tour de force that much. I mean, that early clutch, I believe, to effectively take them the lead, and mostly it's just been gun rounds, and they've just shown how well they are using it. And I have to give Iona the advantage here. Look at this: the Rolling Thunder, the Showstopper, the Viper's Pit against the one Rolling Thunder from the side of Marist. Rolling Thunder is still useful. I mean, obviously, if they use it, if Iona use theirs early for their take, maybe a chance. Definitely, if you go down, if you take a lot of hits from Johnny Silverhand early and use that Viper Spit, and they're just gonna play passively again. Okay, so nice stun there, nice TP out as well. So now if A is going to be clear, they don't know that for sure, but Bev's taken out early. So they're effectively their best rifler of the game gonna be gone. Johnny Silverhand gets the revenge. Retake's gonna be fast. They going to do it well, and they are. No one's going down. The Flawless actually takes us to 5-7, which, I mean, I think that's what you'd want. I think, especially from this double initiator style.
Flawless.
Yep, Flawless comes in the last round. I guess the round it matters at least, but still, a nice confidence booster going into the second half. Sides are going to swap here, and we're going to see what each side is going to have a different look for on the defense or offense side respectively. As there's definitely a lot they can change up. The very slow style that it started out for Iona kind of started to get, not solved, but kind of stopped even happening a lot of the time, where they started to kind of commit earlier to sites. But now we're going to see what Marist's idea of an attack is going to look like. Is it going to be this slow style? Is it going to be this fast execute pace? I think we might kind of see the fast execute pace from what I know from Marist, but anything's on the table.
No, definitely. And the frenzy again for Che. 5-7, which this is definitely looking to be just an incredible map so far on Fracture, and how this is going. And who do you think is going to take this first round?
Could be anyone, as we see the defensive setup already going to be heavily towards B, but the attackers are going towards A. This definitely does lead credence to the fact that Marist might be taking this round. Utils thrown out, rotates are through. And there's a lot of map control here for Marist, and already going to be taking out the Viper. The defensive utility of the smoke screens are gone, and now Tailbow's on the site. Going to be securing them an anchor point underneath the plateau.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so Marist is going to be able to get the plant. Kingpin might have... surely the timing has to work out for them. That was great timing, but can they get the pick? No, Rhapsody just gets the body shots a little sooner, a little cleaner 4v4 retake. Probably about, what, 30 seconds left. They have to go in now. Nice flash onto Lucky. Lucky's gonna stay secure. Yellow Bros with 4. That was just headshot after headshot after headshot. And Marist just a beautiful first round for them.
And now we're gonna see Marist on this climb back, winning the pistols. Won a lot of pistols, I believe, for themselves, even against Delaware. And a very strong team in that regard in terms of their pistols. So a lot of time off the Ghost from Yellow Bros has been quite deadly so far. Now we're gonna see what this is gonna look like for the more traditional attacking rounds. Once we get it through this round and then into the bye rounds, what does Marist want to go for? It looks like it's going to be a heavy commit again over to A. A little bit of delay due to the rope over from Omen, but looks like A is going to be split upon once again.
Yeah, A is going to be split upon once again, and kind of the double. A bit of an interesting play there. No one was on A, but this early pickoff by the Vulture is going to at least secure them a little bit. The Aftershock laying them maybe the rope advantage, but A is still clear. You can just push it. They know that, we don't know that, or we know that they don't know that. I'm confusing myself. Lucky with an early pickoff. Argo's with this Bucky.
Spike planted.
And just the classics to push in. And what's the utility that they have? They have a breach potentially to push it. Rhapsody be going in, and just what a great angle for Argos. And look at the smoke, perfectly hiding them there. How do they push it? Okay, reveals the location of Rhapsody, gets one. Jadis and the Vulture get 2 instantly. Oh my god, that was all down the line there. Now the Vulture, 11 HP, and a Dream could still win this if they are faster. They get 1. All up to Kingpin. Kingpin's on much armor, no time, and it's not going to matter anyway. It's the revenge, but bomb's going to go off anyway. But now they're tied.
Tied up, and now it's time for kind of a bonus, but they don't have anything, right? So it's it's no real bonus. They're not saving anything. Could just be a buy round. I would just make it a buy round a lot of the time. But looks like that's not the case. I mean, they are buying a lot of Vandals here already, but looks like they're kind of just surveying their economic ability and then trying to decide to buy from there. But with everything kind of taken off the board, that kind of loses the point of the bonus, right? So it's not the worst thing in the world it's actually really good for Iona because they don't have to worry about maybe going to this round with 3 to 4 Spectres. So that's always a good look for them.
Yeah, and Marist playing this almost exactly the same passive and rotating play that Iona had, and even maybe a bit more. Aftershock gonna at least reveal to Rhapsody that someone's there, but how many still doesn't know. On his other hand, of course, with the spike, I think actually only one away from the tour de force, so could be using it very early. Bros starts this off. Argos gets another, and all of a sudden these sheriffs are just doing incredible work. Che gets a little bit of a consolation prize, but Kingpin able to pick up the Phantom, and look at this, they can just rotate out of there, or it doesn't even matter. It's all up to Jadis. Why rotate around when you just get Spike? You already have site cleared, or maybe they just want to pick up the guns.
That could lose them the round.
That could definitely lose them the round there. And now Spike's gonna be at main. I'm a bit lost here, worst. Yeah, look at the time. They have to go for the kill.
10 seconds left.
They have to go for this kill. Jtist could just run away. I don't know if that's enough time.
Oh,
Okay,
that's fine.
they find the kill. Jtist gets a little overeager there. I would just play my life there and just kind of see how it goes, but instead opting into trying to go for something of a backstab, but no, they're working for it. But again, that's the bonus, quote unquote, round, right? So they're gonna have a full buy, and you have nothing here for Iona. So that is an awful situation now for the economy of Iona, and kind of looking towards the future of this round. It does. If you win this round here, that's amazing for you, and you could get yourself back in. But otherwise, I think it might cause a downward spiral that just might get you out of the game.
Maybe, and this is definitely going to be vital for them. So, how's this going to go? 8-7, still a long way to go. Johnny Silverhand playing so aggressively in here. It's one, but I don't think understands Jadis is right behind them. But Jadis misses the shots! And A should be clear at this point. Go in, take sight. You don't have to play so aggressively. Bev and Shay already there, but I don't think want to try and retake at this point. And yeah, this is, if they make this, if they could somehow retake this would be the retake of a lifetime.
Yeah, they're not really given much here. You got flank angles as well from both the chamber and the jet. The headhunter has to find extreme value. Stun is going to come through. You're not going to find anything. Looking to potentially put some smokes down for the retake, but they want to do this. They want to get some damage done. They don't have anything to live. Like, they don't have anything to live for in this round, where they will lose more money surviving here than if they just died at the bomb, basically. So they're going to play close to the bomb here. They're just going to die to the bomb. If you die to someone else, it's worse because obviously they get money for it, but it's still better than living. But Johnny Silverhand, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that was interesting. Maybe just dying for the tour de force, maybe? I mean, still buys, so yeah?
I guess for the tour de force? Which makes sense, but also it's like, It's a little bit, but like if they grab the gun and leave, that's worth it for them. But instead, just going to be reset here to a buy for both teams. But like if Iona loses, the economy gets decimated, right? That's the downside of this right now. So whereas if Marist loses, they still have an economic buffer. So that's like the biggest difference between these two teams right now, where Iona loses, they're on a save next time, or they're on an eco, or they're on a force. Whereas Marist is kind of just sitting pretty with the money they have in the bank.
Sitting in the bank very well. It's going to be on A, or he's going to be on B again, especially with this Viper's Pit. Paranoia doesn't get anything in the Vulture. Just hears ropes, gets the early picks off, and tries to pre-fire anything that might happen. And this is already looking like the Iona round that they need. They don't even need to rotate off A. I mean, look at this. They just hold B. If the Viper's Pit, those trademarks, they'll know anything that happens. They'll know if anyone tries to come through Jopplers or tries to come through main. And how do you think Marist even have a chance here? I mean, they always have a chance, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, they always have a chance, but it's getting shut down. As this round becomes slower and you are just not finding anything, you're getting shut down. Iona looking for the flawless here. Argo's looking to disrupt that with a kill onto Bev, but not going to find it. And Iona's back in the game, because otherwise it would have been difficult with their economy in shambles like it was, but this has given them an avenue right back tied up. As again, like I said, Mary still have the economic buffer, so they're going to be fine. Mostly. Obviously would have loved that round in their pocket, but they're going to be fine economically, especially with this tour de force that's going to come out for Johnny Silverhand. But they still have to play this well, because this could easily spiral in either team's favor, or it could just go 1-on-1. It could go 1-for-1, 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 easily.
Yeah. And yeah, it could easily go 1-for-1, and the tour de force from the shadows, Blade Storm, all available for Marist, but don't even need to use them just yet. Oh, with that, the Rolling Thunder, so that could be very vital for this take of site, but only Jadis there. Excuse me, make that no Jadis. And the smoke kill for Argos. Do they play this aggressively? No, they just back up towards site. And this is just exactly what they need. I mean, all of a sudden, what was just a perfect round for Iona has now fallen on its head the round after. Jay coming in, it tries to look through. Slows down again. Do you save now at this point? Because now you can
saving.
buy.
I prefer saving. But a lot of college teams I found don't like saving. They in fact hate saving, and they are going to try to run this down, try to get these guns through. Oh, the Kingpin! A little bit of a whiff there. It's going to allow them back into this round 2v2. Time is winding down. They have to worry about Johnny Silverhands here and Yellow Bow shutting them down by themselves. Team Ace comes through and Marist back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, back in the driver's seat takes us to double digits, and they really want to make a service here, as they have the golden row of ults, and so I mean, just this is starting, I think, to look in Marist's favor more and more, but
yeah. And
Vulture, you know.
And I think what you start to see with like a potential ult economy coming up, right, where you have you can start cycling ults maybe if you need to use them. You can start winning them to win rounds that don't. Like, let's say you have an economic advantage and they start going away. Like, let's say they start getting share of kills on you and it feels a little bit like, oh, it's a little dangerous. You have those ults to supplement, right? So a lot of the time those ults are just like a safety tool and you have this lead. But Bev, that's going to be spraying you down as Yellow Bow stops that. A lot of damage done by just one chamber, but they have sight. There's a repeating pattern here. They just have the sight.
Yeah, no, they have sight again, and it's going to be planted, and this is going to be a hard retake for them. Iona, well, they still have the Rolling Thunder. That could definitely be useful, but I think Marist are playing around it. I mean, look how spread they are, and comes in, and I think only gets 2. So this could be fast, especially with the smoke onto drop. They're going to be able to get anyone. No, but Kingpin, I mean, Chasing will come in with 1, but Kingpin gets 2. Johnny Silverhand as well, and it's all going to be up to Rhapsody, who can't take it out, so...
Yeah.
2 now. 2 away.
2 away now, and I think we're kind of seeing again and again this duo. I kind of highlighted them before, this duo of Yellow Bows and Johnny Silverhand, these kind of duelist types, have been kind of the top fraggers for them a lot of the time. Kingpin is up there sometimes for them. Obviously on this Omen mole, a little bit different. Usually when they're on the rifle roll, they're doing that top fragging because they play very ratty style, like they play on the smokes very well, and they kind of just walk through and walk into angles and find kills. But right now it's Yellow Bows and Johnny Silverhand. You see them mostly in this post plant. The last 2 left alive in the clutch situation, it's going to be Yellow Bows and Johnny Silverhand, and they have been doing it magnificently so far. So keeping that up is so important for Marist. Having those players being on a hot streak is what's really keeping this game in their advantage.
Yeah, 1 away from Marist going to match point, playing this a bit of a default. And oh no, wait, misses all of the shots. Argo's going to be knowing their position. Doesn't actually finish it. Doesn't go for the kill. A nice pick off by the Vulture. Goes for a stun. No one's there. Oh, they're just going for the Rolling Thunder from mid. Gets 2. They have to go in now. And they get anything for it. No, Lucky actually has to back out of there. And this is looking like Iona's map.
Yeah, looks like it's in their hands. Look at this. Jet's running. Jet is just running to A. They're trying to get potentially some info as to how defended it is, what they're going to look for in terms of utility-wise. And now Bev knows this is happening. He's going to find the pick with the Tour de Force. And they're going to start rotating off. But it might be too early. Distraction has done its job. It's gotten some key members removed. Critically, the Tour de Force is gone. After talking to Force Rhapsody out, but no one's holding the angle. Now yeah. Rocket gonna come through and it's all onto Argos. They're not gonna be able to clean it up as Vulture finds another. And Iona trying to get back into this one. It's 11-9. It can still go either way. It was just Marist in the driver's seat. But Iona trying to wrest control of the wheel.
That they are, and a chaotic drive it is. And I mean, at this point, I mean, Marist definitely still have a bit of a buffer, but I mean, I'm looking at Argos, I'm looking at Lucky. I think they're starting to get a little strapped for cash. I think if Iona wins this round, next round could still be okay for Marist, but suddenly we could be at 11-11. This could go overtime. Or, you know, Johnny Silverhand can just get an early quick off and it's fine.
This fight around Dish is so important right now, and so far it has been Vulture holding it down. But Spike's on site. Once again, how many times have we said that about this A site for both squads? Spike just finds a way in. Critically, this dish pressure is important. It means no one can sit up there. It means that you can't have Johnny Silverhands, who obviously dead, but usually is holding that position and really applying some crossfire pressure. Now, you're just on site trying to hold halls, and your Jet could be left out to dry if a Molly goes back there, an Aftershock goes back there. He's going to be in a really bad position. Here comes the Rolling Thunder trying to clear this one out. Screams to walk forward.
Player standing.
Oh no, those are some those are some critical picks. They all and now they know Lucky's position. You can just go for the defuse. The nice Molly forces them out, and has to jump out of that. And now Iona 11 to 10. This is starting to go down to the wire. I'm nervous.
I mean, it depends. If you're Marist, obviously you're kind of, you're going to start calling this timeout. And you want to kind of get to 12 as soon as possible. Because once you hit 12, it's kind of like a sigh of semi-relief, because you're like, okay, we can't lose outright. We're going to go to overtime, at least have some more time to play with. But right now, just wanted to get this over with, want to get this map secured, want to get their place in the group secured. Obviously, this doesn't secure it. Because if Iona beats a Delaware, or again in the second matchup these two have, which is going to be off stream, if Marist loses to them, even if they win this time, it could end up they still go out of the group. So every match in this group is so important. When the less members there are, every match just becomes that much more important. And the timeout going to be coming through. And again, I think we're seeing they're getting on the site still, just as effectively onto A at least. But just not getting those post plants conversions as much as they normally do.
Yeah, and we might actually need to be taking a bit of a longer pause, as Yellow Rose actually disconnected. So, I mean, it maybe gives them a bit more leeway to consider things and think about how this is going to go. I mean, Marist definitely have the ults to come back, to really bring it back. But I mean, Iona win this next one, Marist maybe win the next, and Iona ties it up, Marist wins the game. Like, I don't know. It's going to be rough, but yeah. Well, we're gonna just take a quick technical pause, especially as we wait for our player to reconnect. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.